He enjoys colouring, also riding his bike, and his main interest is watching the Saints. So the Saints just doing the limbering up movement, just waiting for the Salford side to come out now. Salford lady physio just in your picture there. On the Saints side for this afternoon, if they can give him you before Salford come out. At full-back David Lyon, Quirk, Riley, Loughlin and Sullivan are the three-quarters. Tommy Martin making his debut for the Saints, along with John Griffiths, the half-back pairing. John Neal, Bernard Dwyer, George Mann in the front row. Chris Joynt, Phil Beavers, Shane Cooper the back three, with Gus O'Donnell and Adam Fogarty on the bench. And there's young Philip Hand, match day mascot, just to Shane Cooper's right. There he is on his own now. Big day for this young fella, only 6 years of age. Must be a big occasion, obviously out there in front of a decent crowd, I would say. Perhaps not as many as the Saints would like. Also welcome to everybody in the boardroom, the sponsors boxes, the lounge, even in the development office now, who have our broadcast piped in. And don't forget, call at the souvenir shop after. Plenty of new items in, and I'm sure the staff will, Marion in the shop there, she'll only be too pleased to help you. Just tell her I've sent you. They're still waiting for the Salford side to come out now. Here they come. Their side led out by Captain David Young. And their side for this afternoon's clash, player coach Gary Jack at full-back. Tex Evans, Jason Critchley, Scott Naylor and Phil Ford are the three-quarters. Stephen Blakely and Michael Neal are the half-back pairing, with David Young, Mark Lee and Jed Stasiker in the front row. Paul Forbury and Blees and Andy Burgess, the back three. Martin Burkitt and Tony Howard are on the bench. Robin Whitfield's the referee. Saints without Tia Apati, the ever-present from last season. Also without Alan Hunt and Sonny Nichol, who got on the wrong side of referee Morris last week at Hull Kingston. A dismal performance by the Saints, and they'll have to put it to right this afternoon. I would imagine the air would have been blue last week. The Saints have got to get back into winning ways. I know it's only the first game, but you've got to hammer these sides really. You're talking about Hull Kingston Rovers and today's opponent Salford, finished 13 and 14th in the league last season. And then, as I say, Uncle Morris changed the goalpost. They was all right. They knew they wasn't going to be dropped down to the second division. And Hull Kingston Rovers had a few hammerings. Salford was 70 points the wrong side of Wigan, when all didn't matter. Well, there's the two mascots, lady mascot for Salford and our own Saints mascot, Philip Hand, 6 years of age from Rainford. Big day for this young fella and that young lady. So ready to get underway. Saints to kick off, playing down to the sponsors boxes, the clubhouse, the restaurant end. Also today, British Gas, who are sponsoring today's game, along with our regular sponsors, McEwen's Lager. We wish them all a pleasant afternoon. Salford have the early possession. Gary Jack came to Salford as player coach. Kevin Tamati getting the big E. Here's Paul Forber now, ex-Saint, along with Mark Lee there. Forber had a testimonial here at Nosey Road. Then tried his hand elsewhere. Salford picked him up, and he's got plenty of years left in him, I'm sure. Good player for the Saints, and no doubt he will be for Salford. Back for the kick upfield, Steve Blakely. Boots it well upfield, David Lyon takes it in the in-goal area. He comes round, but solid tackling from Salford. Ian Blease, one of the tacklers there, final man to get off the tackler, but Tony Sullivan is taken in possession. Saints will have to move it quickly. At the play of the ball, John Neal driving downfield. Last week at Kingston Rovers, Andy Dannett was being interviewed and talked to him coming to Nosey Road, being imminent. As George Mann gets the ball away to Chris Joint. But talks of Dannett coming, and in the press last week there was talks of John Neal interest in Wakefield. But certainly Neal is a player we can't afford to let go. A good grafter, especially with having Kevin Ward injured as well. Last tackle in the sequence. The ball back to David Lyon. Gary Jack will have to turn around, but I don't think it will matter. It's run dead. And Salford will restart from the centre of the 20-metre line. Mark Lee, I would imagine, will get things going. 2 minutes gone. No score at present. Neal and Beavers. Beavers left out to the side last week after he'd had an impressive display in the A-team. A forward pass there. Must have been a yard forward. Referee Whitfield. Well, obviously it must be the season for letting forward passes go. Mr. Morris didn't pick much up at Kingston Rovers last week. And Robin, our friend Robin from Widnes, didn't pick that one up. Solid tackling, centre field, and that's going to be the order of the day. 2 and 3 tacklers in on the man. Bounce them to the ground, make the tackles felt. Good running by Shane Cooper, closing Blakely down. He chips it through. Lyon again with Les Quirk on his outside. Lyon takes it crossfield. Nice to see Les Quirk in the action again. A firm favourite of mine is Les Quirk, as Andy Burgess has taken a knock there for Salford. And Salford are struggling 4 forwards. Also David Lyon, he's took a knock as well. George Mann pushes the tacklers off, releases the ball. Saints keep it moving. John Griffiths now into space. Oh, unlucky Griffiths, tried to release it. It's all on, the ball's gone back. Oh, dear me. Well, he's got that wrong, hasn't he? That's only two wrong in 3 minutes. The ball clearly coming back there, but referee Whitfield saying that it was knocked forward. Andy Burgess being treated. The referee has stopped the game. And the lady physio gets on, but he's all right now. Saints physio Jeanette Smith. She's been on treating David Lyon. Salford feed the first scrum. They get a clean heel. Move it quickly crossfield. Scott Naylor. Well, he passed it off the floor, and then that was a knock on as well. And that was a knock on this time. And the ironic and sarcastic jeers of the crowd will tell you that that was right. John Griffiths to feed. Whitfield wants the scrum packed correctly. Obviously bringing them over onto the correct blade of grass as temperature's getting a little heated. Well, needless to say, Paul Farber involved there. Obviously certain little scores are to be settled from when he was playing here at Nosey Road, but Farber and Mark Lee, ex-Saints in the pack there. The touch judge on the far side. Well, he's going to bring somebody over, isn't he? Paul Farber being brought back, along with Captain David Young and Ian Blease. So early moments of friction. The touch judge is in again. Who's been brought out from the Saints? John Neal. Oh, referee Whitfield will be trying to calm these two sides down, but I don't know what gets up to in the scrum. Scrum down as before. It's feed. John Griffiths brings it away. Lovely ball to Tommy Martin. Tries to keep it going, but the ball knocks forward. Mike Riley couldn't take it. Tommy Martin making his debut. Second scrum in quick succession. Michael Neal to feed. Salford take that one, move it to the right. Stephen Blakely, look for the half gap. Bounced off the first line of defence, but Tommy Martin wrapped him up. Stazika swings it to the right. Salford still in possession, making 15 metres upfield. It's after line out. Captain David Young, big Welsh prop, comes in there. Bernard Dwyer stops him, but Phil Beavers comes in over the top. Blease. Well, the ball will have to be smothered. Blease was looking to release it. Quick play the ball now. Now is Scott Naylor. Last tackle of this sequence. Less than 20 metres from the stage line. Mark Lee chipping it through. Tony Sullivan kicks it dead. It was meant for Phil Ford. Obviously a tactical ploy. Nearly paying off again. And Saints withstand the pressure. 7 minutes gone on the watch. And Saints will have to drop out from between the sticks. So Phil Beavers has signed a 1-year contract. Was looking for a 2-year deal, including a testimonial. Was plump for the 1-year contract. Let's hope he gets quite a bit of first-team rugby. He's in his 10th season here at St Helens. He's played his requisite 300 matches and that deserves a benefit. Let's hope the club can grant him one. As Stazika brings the ball up. Mark Lee attacked in half. Inside to Young. Now with the scrum half, passes out to Blease. And Blease gets it back. There's Michael Neal that slips it back. The tackle count wave clean. As Farber slips the ball out to the right. Running out wide, typical Farber ploy. Blakely. On to Gary Jack, linking up well. That's an obstruction, that. Jack lets it go on, it passes it to Burgess. On to Mark Lee. Ducks under the tackle of Joint, but George Mann clamps him. And Joint comes back for another bite of the cherry. Salford looking lively. Moving it left, Jack again. Will have to be clamped. Tommy Martin does the job. Beavers, is it round the legs? Yes, it is. Stazika, ex-Wigan forward. Last tackle of the sequence. Michael Neal chips it, but it's going to be too deep. Bounced right on the dead ball line. So the clock stopped. Referee Whitfield must be wanting to speak to somebody. Paul Loughlin is, for whatever reason. Oh, he's just saying, I know it's your testimonial, Paul, and you can buy me a pint after, I think. Something of that nature. Because you can't imagine Paul Loughlin speaking out of turn, can you? One of the most placid players in the game. Well, Bernard Dwyer gets it away to Beavers. Good break by Beavers. 3-man Salford tackle. Bring him down. Blindside ploy as Salford are penalised for offside. Saints want to play it quickly. They should have done, because Salford had got penalised again. Adam Fogarty looking to be introduced. Blood bin substitution for John Neal. Nasty cut round the forehead there, the bridge of the nose. But it's all right now. He's been patched up, I think. Is referee Whitfield happy with it? No, obviously not. Yes, oh well, he must be. Everything's happy. Yes. Right, that's it. Let's get on with it. Looked a nasty cut there, but cleaned up by Jeanette Smith. I'm sure she's got very healing hands, Jeanette. Saints now on the charge. John Neal. Oh, tried to flick it back and Salford come up with possession. Phil Ford has it. The idea right for Neal, and the man the pack should be following the man in possession. They wasn't close enough that time. Neil had drove in, he took the tacklers and wanted to release it, but now it's with Farber for Salford. 11 minutes of the game gone, no score. Salford doing all the pressing at present. Chris Joint brings Burgess down. Neil for Salford. Well, forward pass there from Blease to Blakely. My word. On to Blease now. Chips it through. It'll find touch and the scrum will be found on the 10-metre line. 10 metres in from touch and 10 metres from the Saints try line. John Griffiths will feed the scrum. John Neal still receiving treatment. Griffiths wins the heel. Quirk comes in. But good tackling from Burgess and Scott Naylor. George Mann looked very sharp in the early minutes for the Saints in attack. Dwyer Griffiths along the line. Chris Joint takes it out wide. A lot of hard tackling in this Salford side. Ball kicked downfield and the chase is on. Tony Sullivan on Gary Jack. Gary Jack, whoa, good tackling there by the Saints. He thought he was out of the woods there, did Jack. And Bernard Dwyer came through. And the Saints now look as though they've got the bit between the teeth. And they're going to have to hold Salford down at their end if they can. And referee Whitfield's penalised the Saints. Lying on at the tackle, it looks like. So it's Steve Blakely with the penalty. Finds yardage on the main stand side, 10 metres short of the halfway line. Mark Lee will restart. Well, it's amazing the number of forward passes this referee's missed this afternoon, and we've only had 13 minutes of play. We know the game's fast, but not that fast surely for referee Whitfield. Salford keep it moving. Good play, Blakely has it. Looking to release again. Tommy Martin marshals him well. Martin anticipates well on Mark Lee. Dwyer takes Mark Lee down 10 metres inside the Saints half. And Salford again along the line. Gary Jack linking up. As Naylor loses his footing, he's forced back. It's the last tackle of the sequence. Blakely. Is he going to run dead? No, David Lyon has to play it. It wouldn't have run dead. Salford follow it up quickly. And Lyon's pegged 10 metres from his own line. Paul Loughlin. Good drive from Loughlin. Lyon was on his outside, couldn't release it. Another Salford player taking a knock there as Cooper gets things underway. Griffiths looking for that half gap. Drives it away and gives it to Chris Joint into space. Support needed. Cooper was on his right, but he couldn't release it. Good tackle by Farber. George Mann on the blind side. Up to Mike Riley. Good tackling by Salford. Blakely and Naylor involved heavily there. Saints move it along the line. Lyon draws the man, brings it into Tony Sullivan. But good tackling, good cover defence by Salford. Last tackle of the sequence, Tommy Martin chips it, and he's going to win the chase. Martin gathers it. Can he go round Jack? He can. He's driving forward. It's the last tackle. He releases it, the ball comes back. Oh, Static has it. Salford now breaking. Neil onto Blease. Exciting rugby. Salford in possession. Les Quirk brought Blease down, but it's Salford again. Well, that must be a forward pass, surely, if Saints don't get the ball. Well, he's let that go. Slack play by Salford, and Saints just couldn't capitalise. Andy Burgess. The loose forward for Salford in possession. Tackle count wave clean. Saints tried to reap at the ball. Forber bringing it up. He releases it and Salford move it again to the left. Long pass from Blease to Naylor. Tries to squeeze in between Riley and Griffiths. Saints under a lot of intense pressure. Phil Ford, well, just taken by George Mann. Neil, the halfback, feeds it inside to Steve Blakely. He passes it on to Andy Burgess. And Salford looking sharp. Blakely from acting halfback position gains valuable yardage. Salford bringing it left. David Young. Well, must be a knock on. George Mann comes up with possession. But the referee's not happy with it. He wants to scrum down. George Mann's just letting him know that he came up with ball possession. A lax pass from Salford. Another ball required. Obviously, Robin say it's underinflated. Cooper now out to Griffiths. Planned move from the base of the scrum. But Salford tackling is held firm. Les Quirk coming in. Big lad Quirk takes some pulling down. As Bernard Dwyer tries to scamper away. That's 3 tackles there and Saints have moved nowhere. They'll have to move it left. George Mann bouncing off the defenders. Salford urged to get back onside. Tommy Martin puts a deep kick in. Gary Jack will have to chase it. Can he cut it off? It bounces favourably and comes in field. Saints cover defence, move up. Prolific full-back, this Gary Jack, ex-Australian international. As Tex Evans comes in, he's banged down. Scott Naylor now has possession. Mark Lee, acting halfback. David Young. But Mann and Neil power in, bring Young down. Tip for tat, and Salford may just have, well, I would think the edge in this opening quarter. Nearly 19 minutes played, no score at present. The ball with Gary Jack on the 6th tackle. Tony Sullivan should take it on the full, he does clearly. Well, there's no way that Sullivan's been given 10 metres there. Referee Whitfield agrees with me that time. You could see clearly Sullivan caught it on the 20-metre line. Referee Whitfield was on the 10-metre line towards the centre and just waited till the Salford men come up and then duly penalised them. Bernard Dwyer onto John Neal. Neal turns in the tackle again, hoping to squeeze it out. Salford moving up quickly and lying offside. And as long as referee Whitfield lets them get away with it, they're going to do it, aren't they? Griffiths inside to Joint. He straightened it up, looks for the gap. Oh, Forber with a head-high tackle on Joint. And the pair clashed just a few minutes ago. And Forber came in with a good tackle on Joint. Or a hard tackle, I should say, and Joint just had a look at him. But Forber came in there again. Over the top. It's going to be a penalty to the Saints, and Loughlin should have a gift 2 points. Paul Loughlin kicked 2 goals last week at Craven Park Hull, along with a Tiarapati try, 2 Gus O'Donnell drop goals. O'Donnell on the bench today. Tiarapati out with a strained Achilles tendon. As I said, the ever-present of last season, unfortunately, out in the 2nd game of the season. To Paul Loughlin. About 17 metres out, more or less bang in front. Slots it between the uprights. Saints take the lead, 2-0. With Salford been doing all the pressing. Obviously a big job to lift the Saints, especially after last week. Real poor performance at Hull Kingston Rovers. You can see Parker, the very lively scrum half, was heavily involved in the first half, even though Saints were winning 9-4 at half time. But he had a hand in all the 3 tries, scoring the last one himself, even though I don't think Lydiard touched down for the first one, and the second one came off a forward pass, but the gaps were there, and that's the annoying part. And it's controversial when they scored, but the gaps were there, and he wasn't closed down. But Saints break away quickly. George Mann, Mike Riley, Ford, well, Ford going in there. Not bad, eh? Forearm jab by Ford. John Neal driving it in. Goddard grafted his Neal. Big raw bone Cumbrian forward. And Saints nearly lost him to Salford. Last season, he was nearly going on loan to Salford. Saints had a forward crisis. Neal was drafted into the squad, and he's been an integral part more or less ever since. Gary Jack bringing it up. George Mann, along with Phil Beavers, haul him down. Now here's Phil Ford, exciting wingman, perhaps in the later stages of his career now. But he still can shift those legs a bit. Salford in possession, trailing by 2-0. 22 minutes of the game gone. There we go, Salford still throwing it about. David Young has it. Saints tacklers will have to get in 2s and 3s and bang these men down. Make the tackles count and make them hurt. Get these men bruised. Farber will play it along to Michael Neal. The ball back to Steve Blakely. He kicks it deep upfield. Sits up for Tony Sullivan in the in-goal area. Lyon loops round him. And Sullivan tries to shimmy and go through the defence. But he's well taken there by Burgess. Couldn't take Bernard Dwyer then. Dwyer still driving forward. George Mann gets the ball away. Bernard Dwyer back to Shane Cooper. Out to Mike Riley. Well covered was Riley there. A bit of a Sister Duffy pass, that one. Blindside from Cooper onto John Neal. Bounces off the first line. Looking for support from fellow Cumbrian Les Quirk. Quirk at dummy half. Pushes 2 off. Last tackle of the sequence. Tommy Martin boots it down over Phil Ford's head. Ford keeps it in field. There's a big step at his Ford. He stepped away there. Gus O'Donnell on for Paul Loughlin. Whether Paul Loughlin's having trouble with that arm. Did have a bruised arm last week at Kingston Rovers. And Gus O'Donnell's on, Paul Loughlin in the dugout. I think Tommy Martin's been switched to the centre. And Salford with a deep kick. Finds touch right in the far corner. They scrum down with the Saints feed. 10 metres from the Saints line again. O'Donnell to scrum half. Griffiths to stand off. O'Donnell feeds. Makes the gap. Oh, head tackle again there. My word. Salford moving up quickly and all offside on the referee's right. Saints playing it quickly, catching Salford, but the referee's not watching as Beavers brings it away. Good tackle by Farber. O'Donnell out to Martin. George Mann, he straightens up. Chris Joint was on his left. George Mann couldn't squeeze it out that time. John Neal now. Good ball from Neil to Cooper, but excellent tackling there, Ian Blease, but he gets it away to Tommy Martin. He squaws it out. Last one of the set for the Saints now. Dwyer brings it to Vevers. Vevers grubbers it for touch. And a 10-metre scrum. 10 metres short of the Salford line this time. It's going to be a Salford feed, but Saints will have to keep the pressure on. They've struggled really in the opening 26 minutes. Salford scrum, Phil Forward. Bounces off the first line. Gary Jack wants a quick play of the ball. Cooper marking up there, and Jack scampers away from acting halfback. Les Quirk and John Neal, I think it is, the Cumbrian duo there. Bounce Jack down. Now it's with Stasiker. Salford looking sharp. No tries on the board, just a Paul Loughlin penalty goal for a Paul Farber indiscretion. Blease driving it up there. Well, let's see Saints can capitalise on this. Referee Whitfield there penalising the Saints, holding back when the man's coming through, but Blease was there, and obviously a man coming through hoping to support Blease was pulled back. Referee Whitfield penalised the Saints, and good yardage made by Salford. 10 metres from the 20-metre line. Good driving, and Salford looking to release the ball again, obviously trying to keep this ball alive. Matt Lee on to Stasiker. Back to Young. Oh, good drive from Young, good yardage, 15, 20 metres towards the Saints line. Neil and Blakely combine, it's on to Farber. Oh, good tackling there, Farber taken down by Griffiths. Neil, the scrum half from Salford. On to Blakely. Tries to shimmy through, 10 metres short of the Saints line. Saints have to line up on their own line. The Salford charging, Mark Lee onto Ian Blease. He tries to dive over, tries to stretch, but he's just short, well, right on the line. Mark Lee, is he over? No. He tries again, it's the last tackle of the sequence. Stasiker attacked in half. Will he try to drive? No. It's on to Neil. Well, it's come off a Saints player. Salford, no, it's no try. No try, it's knocked forward. The turnover, that's correct. Salford player knocked it forward on the last tackle. And Bernard Dwyer there tries to get away. The Salford players moving up exceptionally quickly. Gus O'Donnell now making a bit of space. Les Quirk breaks through the first line of defence, comes up, and Phil Forward and Stephen Blakely bang him down. Neil, the battering ram, takes the tackle of David Young. Now with Phil Vevers. A good yardage by the Saints, come from their own line. It's on the last tackle now, but they come from their own line to about 30 metres out, and David Lyon pumps it downfield. Jack and Tex Evans. Evans takes it. Gary Jack attacked in halfback. Well marshalled by the Saints. Adam Fogarty out of the dugout, ready to come on for the action as Saints. John Neal strikes at the ball and gets it back. And out with Mike Riley. Well, a big hit there from Ian Blease on Riley. Blease and Naylor. Cooper attacked in half. George Mann loses the ball. Just as I was going to say that George Mann looks very sharp this afternoon, but he came through there, lost the ball, put Salford back in possession, and Saints forced to defend again. Salford looking to break quickly. Well, a good break there. Excellent drive upfield. Jason Critchley. Well, he's going to score. Let's Dave. Oh, good. Well done, David Lyon. Pushed the man off. Forced him into touch. What a brilliant move by Salford, and Jason Critchley went 75 yards upfield. It looked dead, it looked as though he was going to score. He can't half-move this Critchley. Local lad, came from the Blackroot Club to witness and then transferred to Salford. But an excellent try-saving tackle by David Lyon. Superb last-ditch effort. Tony Sullivan brings it away now. Tommy Martin, he's taken down. Good tackling there by Burgess. Now Bernard Dwyer on to Chris Joynt, but this tight Salford defence holding up well and keeping the Saints at bay. As John Neal now drives up again. Neal releases it. Well, Salford have it. Stazika comes up with it. And Salford back in possession. Barber in the 20-metre area now. Saints forced to defend again. Well, Salford lost possession. Saints snap it up. Quick hands. Oh, dear me. Quick hands was the order of the day. Tommy Martin looking to get it out to Mike Riley. The Saints with a two-man overlap, even though Salford were coming over. Mark Lee coming off as a blood bin substitution as Phil Beavers brings the ball down. George Mann in possession on the centre spot. Now with Shane Cooper. Cooper chips it into space. Oh, Cooper gets it! Long ball out to Sullivan. Can he capitalise on this? He can! Sullivan's in for a try. Well finished off there by the Saints, and not before time too. A little bit of individual brilliance by Saints captain Shane Cooper. Saw Gary Jack was just at the back, chipped it through, looking for a favourable bounce. He got a favourable bounce, took the ball back. Sullivan over on the left-hand side. A long cut-out ball to Sullivan. He took it well and outpaced the Salford defence to go in. Adam Fogarty there just going on a sandman. Tommy Martin now taking over the kicking duties. But it's 6 points to 0 for the Saints. Let's see if Martin can slot it between the uprights. Well, it looks good. Oh, and it is good. So Tommy Martin on his debut gets points on the board. Tommy Martin signed from Oldham with Paul Groves going the other way, plus a couple of bob as well. 22 years of age, 5'11", 12.5 stone, can play anywhere. He likes the standoff role, but he's equally at home in the centre or the fullback. He's the son of Tommy, the ex-Warrington forward, and the nephew of Mick, the ex-Lee and Great Britain forward. So he's got a good pedigree, hasn't he? And obviously only an extended run in the first team will show us what his true capabilities are. But Salford kick off. John Griffiths, well, Blease takes him high. Well, referee Whitfield said it was round his chest. Well, he's got his chest in a funny place, that's all I can say. That was hell of a tackle off Blease, right round the neck. Beavers brings it up. Well, Salford, they've come here with a purpose, haven't they? There's no messing about. John Neal, well, Blease again, that looked like an elbow on John Neal. Now with Chris Joynt, he brings it away, drives it forward. But Salford are tackling in 2s and 3s, they're certainly getting stuck in. 5 minutes to the interval. Bernard Dwyer. Last tackle of the sequence. Tommy Martin, positional kicking. Gary Jack stops it with his knees, gathers it, drives it forward. Really exciting in full flight. Played for Sheffield last season, as I said before, but Salford offered him a player-coach contract. Well, Scott Naylor there, just caught with his pants down, you could say. Farber tries to turn inside. Naylor was on the outside. Mark Lee looking to be introduced back into the game. A knock on there, and Mark Lee back on. Wearing the skull cap, the scrum cap, or whatever you wish to call it. John Neal still having a spot of trouble with that cut. But obviously Robin Whitfield is happy with it now. Gus O'Donnell feeds, Saints come up with scrum possession. Move it crossfield, Quirk drives in hard. But solid tackling from Salford, just as it has been all through the match. Cooper, out to Riley. Good drive by George Mann. Support there from Bernard Dwyer. And Dwyer drives again. Taken down by McNeil, but he gets it away to Sullivan. Sullivan drives through. Oh, good tackle there by Farber. Excellent tackle by Farber. Cooper now brings it crossfield. Well, Saints are going to be penalised for crossing. Crossing is the indication there. Referee Whitfield held the whistle to his mouth there. Just as Cooper tried to get things going. It's just a pity he didn't see the one just about half an hour earlier that he let go. But it's a penalty to Salford. 3 penalties each, I make it, with Saints taking the scrum 6-3. But up to Tony Sullivan scoring the try, up to that little bit of brilliance from Cooper. More or less been all Salford. Well, that's not crossing, is it, referee Whitfield? Took the man out as Blease came through on the dummy run. Typical Wigan ploy, isn't it? David Young. He drives it up for Salford. Mark Lee attacked in half-back. 8-0 Saints in the lead. 2 minutes before the interval. Gary Jack linking up with the back division. He'll have to be hauled down. Beavers round the legs. Riley and Neal round the top. Blakely out to Andy Burgess. Last tackle of the sequence. Salford bring it blindside. Long ball to Phil Ford. Ford chips it. David Lyon will take it comfortably. David Lyon does, but Ford and Naylor wrap him up. Well, the ball kicked through. And Salford have possession. Well, a little bit sloppy at the play of the ball. Salford capitalise on it. Stasiker in possession. Salford trailing 8-0, looking for points before the interval. Saints will have to withstand the storm. They took a lot of pressure in the first 20 minutes off Salford. They've come up the other end and scored. Now it's with Mark Lee, tries to chip it through. Well, he does chip it through, and Blease follows it up. And Blease scores. Ian Blease, big second row forward, ex-captain of Salford. Obviously a planned move by Salford. Mark Lee heavily involved again. He chipped it through there with the forwards running onto it. Shane Cooper just couldn't get it. Blease sneaked in behind him, picked the ball up, touched it down behind the sticks, and it puts Salford on the board at 8-4, and it's going to be 8-6 with this Blakely conversion. As we said before, Saints without Sonny Nicol, Alan Hunt, Tira Patty. Let's hope we can just get the discipline right throughout the remainder of the season. I suppose somebody's got to be first at Chapeltown Road, haven't they? Under the disciplinary committee. Salford converted, 8-6 to score. And as I said before, teams Salford and Hull Kingston Rovers finishing bottom of the division. And when it was all done and dusted that Salford would be stopping up, Wigan give them a good thrashing, 70 points to 6, I think it was, something like that. And Wigan certainly put the cosh down, don't they? When they've got a good lead, they just keep going in that. I think that's what Saints have been lacking in many seasons, obviously before Mike McLaren came, but Saints lacking in the killer instinct. Once they've got 20 or 30 points up, they seem to think that that's enough. But you've got to keep at it and certainly make these teams pay. Obviously points difference is crucial at the end of the season. In the dying seconds now. Well, there we go, just as Farber came through, as I said, in the dying seconds. Farber driving it up. The half-time score here at Nosey Road, 8 points to 6 in the Saints' favour. 20 minutes before we got points on the board. A Paul Loughlin penalty goal for a Farber indiscretion. 12 minutes later, Sullivan latched onto a long Shane Cooper pass after the captain had chipped it through and got a favourable bounce. That was goal by Tommy Martin, with Paul Loughlin going off, being replaced by Gus O'Donnell. And then right up the death there, Ian Blease following through from a Mark Lee, astute grubber kick through, getting the ball, touching down behind the sticks. That was converted by Blakely. There's the score at half-time, Saints 8, Salford 6. Back with you now for the second half for the Stones Bitter League clash. Saints and Salford. Saints leading 8-6 at half-time. John Griffiths off at half-time. Adam Fogarty on. Before we get underway, I've an announcement of the birth of a baby girl to two Saints spectators. She was born yesterday at Billinge Hospital to Mike and Linda Green. Laura her name is, 7 pounds 2 ounces. Best wishes from Les, Jed, Maureen, all the Lilies and everyone who knows them, and also your Saints video team. No doubt she'll be enlisted, will young Laura, in the supporters club today, I would well imagine. But anyway, we're ready for the second half. Also give a mention to British Gas, as I said before, who are sponsoring today's game, along with the regular sponsors, McEwen's Lager, up there in the sponsors' boxes. Hope they have an excellent match, as Adam Fogarty powers his way upfield. Big forward, looking for great things off Fogarty. Let's hope he can just get his act together, but here's one who can. George Mann, out to Beavers. Beavers inside to Sullivan. Pushes two off Sullivan, but Burgess and Lee bring him down. Well, a quick play the ball wanted, and after 40 seconds, Saints get the first penalty of the second half. With Salford lying on. No doubt the air will have been blue in the Saints dressing room, with Mike McLennan reading the riot act. I believe the air was blue last week at Hull, and Saints were leading by 9 points to 4. Well, we're just in the lead today, 8 points to 6. And they'll have to get their act together, won't they? Salford, they finished 13th, as I said, last season with 18 points, only 9 wins out of 26 games. 3 times we played them last season. Here at Nosey Road, won handsomely, 48-8. At the Willows, just won by 15 points to 12, and in the Lancashire Cup semi here at Nosey Road, just winning by 18 points to 5. Well, that looks a good enough Martin, doesn't it? My word! A superb kick by Tommy Martin. Plenty of height, and he powers it between the uprights. So just the start Saints needed. 10 points to 6 the score now. 3 goals, 1 try. Unfortunately, Paul Loughlin substituted in the first half. This is his testimonial season. We wish him well for the season. And we're hoping to announce all the forthcoming events on your Saints video, as well as it'll be printed in the local press. Chris Joint bringing it out wide, turns back inside to Dwyer. But Joint clattered there by Farber. So Farber and Joint, they're tangling again, and Joint looks up and said, well, we're not getting any protection there from the officials. Farber and Stasiker had come in. Dwyer brings it away to Adam Fogarty. Last tackle of the sequence. Salford urged to get back on side. Well, Neil, the scrum half for Salford, breaking too quickly, I think. As Tex Evans brings it crossfield. John Neil couldn't stop him when he tried to straighten up, but Bernard Dwyer and Adam Fogarty come in, bounce him down. Ford attacked in half-back. Well, Salford player loses the ball and it's all on. The referee was happy with it. Well, over the top again, Blease with a head-high tackle on John Neil. Saints bringing it blind. Chris Joynt straightens up. Referee Whitfield will have to keep his eyes on these high tackles. Cooper, now to Vivers. Tries to release it, but excellent tackling again. Gus O'Donnell. Martin onto Cooper, out to Fogarty, moving it wide. Fogarty gives the dummy, drives in again. The ball's lost. Tex Evans comes up with it. No, I beg your pardon, it's not Tex Evans. It's Gary Jack. For Salford now, Ian Blease has it. Good tackling by the Saints. Blease came through, then he was forced back. David Young, the Salford captain, no way through for him. Farber, characteristic run, good drive from Farber, head down, drives in. Last tackle of the sequence. Obviously Salford didn't know, they've just not got their act together as Phil Ford tries to chip it. Well taken by Mike Riley. Saints now along the line. George Mann. Oh, good drive from George Mann. The ball's lost, it touched the Salford player and come back, and that should have been all on. The referee Whitfield is not happy with it. The first knock on is indicating with defeat to Salford. Michael Neil to feed. Well, John Neil for Saints can't get packed. Michael Neil to feed. Salford have scrum possession. Saints break quickly. Jason Critchley. Strong runner. Well, have to be brought down. Chris Joynt and Vivers bring him down eventually. Andy Burgess running the crossfield. Quick play the ball. Michael Neil scampering away, good ball inside to Blease. Blease looking for support, good running by Salford. They make good yardage. Spreading it out wide. Burgess, dummies, goes back inside with Evans and Critchley on his right. Blakely, attacked in half-back. Well, he doesn't know where to go. Gets it away to Lee. Onto Neil. Farber with it now, the last tackle of the sequence. Jack. On to Mark Lee now. Lee chipping for the corner. It did touch a Saints player there, I believe, in flight. But Gus O'Donnell comes up with possession. Well, Saints very pedestrian from the play at the acting half-back. Fogarty now. Good yardage from this big forward. John Neil turning in the tackle, looking to release it, showing the ball. Good driving now. Cooper into space. Joynt had gone on the inside. Cooper had to take the tackle of Burgess. Now with Tommy Martin for the last tackle of the sequence. Phil Ford has it. Saints follow up in a line there, and they'll have to get Ford at the first attempt. Mike Riley brings him down. Gary Jack now taking up the running onto Scott Naylor. Stasiker, straight drive. He's hauled down. Saints urge to get back onside. Markley at dummy half, moves the ball left. Neil and Blakely work the run around. Neil grabs it at the second bite of the cherry. Last one of the sequence for Salford. Blakely has it, puts a tester up. Looks covered all the way by David Lyon. It is. Blakely follows it up. Lyon brings away. Tony Sullivan coming field, stepping up at the acting halfback. Saints just look a little disorganised there at the back of the play, the ball. John Neal coming up, making good yardage, 10-15 metres. Tommy Martin, good ball there to Mike Riley. Equally good tackle on the far side by Phil Ford. George Mann again, block busting forward. Look very sharp this afternoon. 8 minutes gone of the half. Saints in the lead, 10 points to 6, extending the 8 points to 6 half-time lead with a Tommy Martin penalty goal in the first minute. But Gary Jack, well, Saints got to get off him quick. Let Salford play the ball. Salford very slow getting back. Tex Evans now, well, just held by John Neal by the shirt collar. Good job he was too. Ian Blease. Salford running it, moving it quickly. Still only 4 points in it as Gary Jack links up. Fogarty and Beavers. Blakely onto Farber. Good drive by Farber. Blease in support. Knock on by Stasiker, I think. Either Stasiker or Mark Lee. Somebody with headgear on. Mark Lee it was that knocked on. Exciting passage of play by Salford. Looked very sharp in the first half. Saints win the scrum there. Beavers brings it blindside onto Chris Joynt. Good running, John Neal again, run tirelessly, flicks it back to Gus O'Donnell. Gus O'Donnell into space! Can he beat Gary Jack? Go on, Gus! He'll get it in the corner! Yes! Oh, he's in touch! The touch judges said he's in touch! Gary Jack appealed for it, but very unfortunate there, O'Donnell. Looked as though he had the beating of Gary Jack. So Gus O'Donnell with an exciting 40-metre run. Couldn't squeeze into the corner just as Jason Critchley was forced into touch after a 75-yard run. Salford win possession from the scrum. Naylor come through. Tommy Martin brought him down. Bernard Dwyer finished him off. Now it's Phil Ford. Saints defence has got to be tight. Good drive by Farber. Forces the captain Shane Cooper out of his way. But the players just tangled there. Whether anybody's injured or not, I don't know. The referee. Fogarty and Riley along with Farber. Gary Jack gets the ball away to Burgess. Good play by Salford. Burgess looking to release it, but good clamp tackling there. O'Donnell brought the man down. It's Beavers round the top. Solid game from Beavers. Been very involved. Now it's Gary Jack and Salford are throwing it about. David Young has it. Last one for them. Let's see what they'll do. Will it be an up and under? Mark Lee chips it for the corner. Well played at the man there. Unfortunately right in his stomach. Mike Riley couldn't take it. Knocked it forward. Mark Lee chipped it through. Scrum down. Salford feed and Saints under more pressure. 20 metres out. Salford have scrum possession. Taking the scrums 3-1 in the second half. Naylor being given yardage, but Riley wraps him up. Beavers there again. Beavers plays it well. Marshals Jason Critchley. He knows how dangerous this lad can be. Bartley moves it left. Long ball to Farber, running out wide. Wouldn't he love to score one? Farber, he feeds it inside for Gary Jack. Yeah, Jack scored. Heavily involved, Paul Farber there. Gary Jack goes over. Puts Salford on level terms with the goal kick to come. Good drive there by Salford, played it well. I said Saints under a lot of pressure, obviously Lee kicking it through. Salford won the scrum, moved it about a bit, then it went to Farber, he drove through, played it inside to Jack in support. He drove for the line, was tackled, but the tackle couldn't prevent him from touching down. 10-10 is the score. Also available from your Saints video team, the Saints versus the Select 13, Paul's Loughlin's testimonial match. Myself along with Paul's dad Paddy did a joint commentary, and that's truly a collector's item. Available from us on the gantry here or your souvenir shop, and also available we have Saints versus Widnes, or should I say Widnes versus Saints in the charity match at Norton Park. Available from us on the gantry or your Saints souvenir shop. Well, the touch judges looking at each other, then decided to put the flags up, but Blakely put Salford in the lead. 12 points to 10. They're winning here at Nosey Road with 14 minutes of the second half gone. Cooper kicking it just the required 10 yards, but Stasica was well up to that. Beg your pardon, Mark Lee, wrong again. Oh, but Saints, pressure tells there. Fogarty comes up with ball possession after Salford had been harried. So Cooper now, Lyon, onto Beavers. Oh, lovely ball to Sullivan. Sullivan driving for the line, still going on his hands and knees. Bernard Dwyer attacked it half back. Saints have to spread it along the line. Cooper to George Mann. Mann pushes the tacklers off. Oh, 2 and 3 and releases it. Saints can spread it now. Overlap on the right, but it's closing down. Salford moved over very quickly. Adam Fogarty. Oh, he's lost possession. Salford back in possession. 16 minutes of the half gone. Saints trailing 12 points to 10. Saints got to get back in the swing, and good tackling there. They forced Salford into touch on the far side. Beaten at home last week was Salford by Sheffield Eagles, where Gary Jack, the player coach at Salford, now came from. 32-20 they was beaten. Tries from Blakely, Burgess and Farber with 4 Blakely goals, but Saints have possession from the scrum. Lyon working the run around. Lyon makes it through into the 20-metre area. Tony Sullivan now. Jason Critchley puts him down, but he gets the ball away to Cooper and Fogarty. Saints spectators get behind them. Bernard Dwyer scampering through. Oh, nearly there, Bernard. 5 metres short. Cooper. Oh, well, I thought Tommy Martin had it, but Cooper still had possession. Joint to Neil. Neil drives it up. See the urgency in the Saints side now. Dwyer, long ball out to George Mann. George Mann chips it through for the corner for Quirk. No, it's gone touching goal. Idea right there for George Mann. Touching goal from George Mann's kick, and Salford will restart with a tap from the centre of the 20-metre line. Paul Farber, first receiver. Saints in the lead, 12-10. Obviously, 2 defeats on the trot at the first 2 matches of the season. Won't be tolerated. Obviously the coach does his job. As it said in the programme, each player gets a discipline sheet. They had them before the Old Kingston Rovers match, but unfortunately the discipline went a little bit awry. But the coach does his job and he can only leave it to the players on the park. They've got to do it on the day. We know they can, but they've got to get in the swing, haven't they? Blakely with the deep kick. Less work. Taken down there by scrum half Neil on the 20-metre line. Gus O'Donnell attacked in half-back. Now with Mike Riley covering plenty of yardage in this second half. Fogarty diagonally bringing it blindside. John Neal taking up the running. Well, the ball's released. Whether it was reaped out, obviously just lost in the tackle. But Critchley coming through there. Dwyer wraps him up and Critchley's knocked on. Excellent tackle there by Bernard Dwyer, forcing the error from Jason Critchley. Just as Salford had gathered the ball from an earlier Saints infringement. It's Gus O'Donnell to feed. Just inside their own half. Cooper brings it out from the base of the scrum. Ian Blease wraps him up. Along the line now, George Mann looking for that half gap. Pushes the first line off. Like Tommy, is it Tommy Martin taking a knock there? He has. Shane Cooper taking a knock as well. O'Donnell. Martin. Oh, bad pass there. Inside to Joint. Two teammates at Oldham there. Joint playing for Oldham last season. Martin coming from Oldham in the close season. Unforced error there by the Saints. Trailing by 12 points to 10. 20 minutes. 20 minutes of the half remaining. David Young being spoken to along with captain Shane Cooper. So obviously a little bit of hanky-panky going on in the pack. And referee Whitfield, one of the most experienced referees on the circuit, he doesn't want it. Well, that's a good second row feeding, isn't it? Saints heavily penalised for feeding the scrum last week by Mr. Morris. Solid tackling there, Martin and Cooper. Naylor attacked in half-back. Tries to scamper away. Gains 5 or 10 metres. But Salford have possession. Mark Lee attacked in half. Inside to Neil, the scrum half, onto Gary Jack linking up. Tommy Martin comes, clatters him down. Last tackle of the sequence. Will yes, Salford run it, and into whether they'd have a go for drop goal, but it's Farber. Gets it back to Neil, the scrum half. Is he going in at the corner? He's trying. The last tackle, it's the turnover. Well, Salford moving up quickly. Gus O'Donnell takes it blindside. Good yardage from Gus. John Neal making the yards. Saints trailing by 2 with 20 minutes to go. Last tackle of the sequence. Let's see what Saints have got up the sleeve. There's Cooper. Takes it blindside, chips it up, puts pressure on Gary Jack because the ball's not going to run dead. Cooper, first man up, but Gary Jack just manages to round him. He can't get past Chris Joint. Salford held in the 20-metre area, their own 20-metre area. And Saints will be looking to contain them up at that end. Regain ball possession and hopefully come up with a score that will put them back in the lead. Phil Ford has it. Stajic got the ball away. Ford inside to Critchley. Very lively outfit, Salford. Now Blakely has it. Sits up nice for David Lyon. But he's on his own there. He beats Neil, the scrum half, takes it over to the right. Farber comes in, thunders him to the ground. Now it's Mike Riley. No way through for him. Some tremendous Salford tackling this afternoon. They've stuck to the task. They're in the lead by 12 points to 10. It must be said they've had most of the play. Cooper. Up to George Mann now. Pushes Farber off, pushes Neil off. Loses his footing, and Young just effects the tackle. Gus O'Donnell chips it through. Well, Gary Jack and O'Donnell collide, but Saints have ball possession. Another 6 tackles with it touching Gary Jack. And let's see if the Saints can get their act together now. Bernard Dwyer inside to Cooper, along the line. Overlap here for the Saints. Joint up the middle. Can Joint win the chase? Oh yes, he can. Superb try by Chris Joint. Superb try by Chris Joint. There was a big overlap here on the left, but Tommy Martin shimmied as if he was going to move it out to the left, brought Joint in on the inside pass, and Joint's superb strength took him up to the sticks. He touched down just to the left, put Saints back in the lead at 14 points to 12. But isn't it hard work? Tommy Martin. Yes, no problem. Bangs it between the uprights. 16 points to 12 the score. Nothing more than the Saints deserve. Obviously, I've just said that Salford deserved their lead, which they did. They've played exceptionally well. But Saints hitting back there and putting together what we know the Saints can do. We know they're capable, they've got the personnel. Started very slowly. Only a 4-point cushion now, and that'll have to be extended. Mike Riley bringing the ball up. And the touch judge indicating that Mike Riley had knocked the ball on. Ex-referee Spencer on the far side. Salford feed, Salford scrum. 4-3, they take the scrums in the second half. 20 metres from the Saints line, Saints forced to defend again. Michael Neal gets Stasica on the way. He's brought down 10 metres short. Saints reaping at the ball. Well, they got it back. Obviously Neal reaping at the ball. Stasica got it back. Another 6 tackles, the tackle count wave clean. Burgess going through, well marshalled, but Salford again, the tackling will have to be firm. Gary Jack linking up. Saints have to line up on their own line. Testing time for the Saints. Salford still in possession, leading, trailing I should say, by 16 points to 12. Interception there by Tommy Martin. Pity he couldn't go all the way like Watson did in the televised Friday night match. Oldham very unlucky on Friday night. But Saints back in possession, and Beavers making yardage, bringing it up to the halfway line. O'Donnell on to Fogarty. "6'5" Fogarty, 24 years of age, ex-professional boxer, on a free transfer from Halifax. Only been in the game a couple of years. Let's hope he can make his name here at St Helens. Tommy Martin chips it through. It finds touch on the 10-metre line. Salford making a substitution. Burgess coming off and Howard going on. "12 minutes left of the game. 16-12 the score in Saints' favour. Burgess now off. Howard back on. Did come on earlier for a couple of minutes. A blood bin substitution for Mark Lee. Salford have possession. (6-3) as the ball possession on my sheet for Salford in this second half. Gary Jack linking up along with Naylor. Naylor in the clear with Evans on his outside. Evans has the ball. Is it Jack? Jack it is onto Ford. Ford will have to be taken. Quirk comes in, bangs him to the ground. Well, he's lost the ball as Ford. Well, Saints have been penalised. Looked as though he'd lost the ball there. And Les Quirk just having a bit of an eyeball with Phil Ford. But referee Whitfield penalising the Saints. I think that's Salford's first penalty of the second half. Saints only having one penalty, 29 minutes gone, and Blakely's going to have a go for goal. Well, as Mike McLennan said last week in the local press, it was just a little hiccup at Hull Kingston Rovers. I'll agree with that, but as long as it doesn't turn into indigestion. And it's certainly a bit dodgy this afternoon, isn't it? 16-12 and a possible 16-14. Blakely teeing it up just to the left of centre. Well, the touch judges look at each other again. So just a 2-point cushion for the Saints. 16-14. The fat back in the frying pan there, there's no danger. Saints will have to show all the determination that we know they have got to hold this Salford outfit out and hopefully get points on the board. Tommy Martin, deep kick. Did it go directly dead? Well, it has gone directly dead. So that's a penalty to Salford, isn't it? If they wish, they could have a go for goal with the ball going directly dead. I'm almost sure they could go for goal, yes. I think Blakely's going to have a go. He's looking at his captain, David Young. No, he's going to go for touch. Finds touch. 12 metres inside the Saints half. Mark Lee to restart. Now with Jason Critchley. Fogarty brings him down. Mark Lee steps up quickly. Salford full of running. Michael Neal working the loop movement with Blakely. Now with Ian Blease. Substitute Howard. He's inside to Critchley, but it's a knock on. Well, it's my word. He said it's gone back. I don't believe this fella. Farmer now, haul to the ground, clear knock on. Temper's getting a little frayed, are they? Farmer manages to play it. Now with Stazika, last one of the sequence. Salford has no doubt put Saints under a lot of pressure. Neal inside to Jack. Jack chips it. Well taken by David Lyon. Beats the oncoming defence. Well, a lot of mauling by Howard to play the ball there. The referee says get up and play it. Tony Sullivan just clearing the ranks. Sullivan in the clear. Sullivan, blatantly obstructed. Blatantly obstructed. And Jack's going to go in the bin for this. Yes, in the bin, Gary Jack. Professional foul. Clearly obstructed Sullivan. If Sullivan had got a favourable bounce, it'd have been well under the sticks there. coach. 10 minutes in the sin bin. Well, he reckons he doesn't know where he is. Don't forget to pick your equity card up, Gary, on your way to the dugout. Well, it's a penalty to the Saints. David Young, the captain's come off. Martin Burkitt has come on as a substitute for him. Tommy Martin, a look for the extras. For a blatant professional foul there by Gary Jack. Well, if he's claiming concussion, he should be off altogether, shouldn't he? But 33 minutes of the half gone. He shouldn't take any more part in the game. Ian Blee's just come into the touchline for some coaching from Stephen Eel, I think it is. But Tommy Martin's kick waved away. Saints still in the lead by 16 points to 14. Salford down to 12 men. With the player coach Gary Jack in the bin for a professional foul. Saints couldn't capitalise on it by gaining the extra 2 points. Still just in the lead by 2. 16-14. It's a good job Gus caught it. He was facing his own line, but I bet you Whitfield would have given it as a knock-on. A lot of mauling at the play of the ball as Bernard Dwyer comes away. Let's see if Saints can capitalise on this one-man advantage in the last 6 minutes of play. Chris Joint. Oh, pushing the defenders off. Just losing his footing. With Farber and Stazika coming in on him. Well, John Neal losing possession. Unforced error again. Saints forced to defend now when they was on the attacking mode. Mark Lee solidly brought down. Dwyer Neal and George Mann heavily involved. Now Burkitt, Martin Burkitt, full back or centre 3/4. Well, a knock on. Oh, off his ankles, he said. My word. Certainly things going Salford's way, aren't they? Blee's trying to work the run-around movement there with Blakely. Would have come off, but Blee's held on to the ball. Michael Neal puts up a tester. Well, George Mann gets it. It bounced off Gus O'Donnell onto George Mann. Bernard Dwyer had Cooper on the inside. He couldn't release it. Now it's with Fogarty. Fogarty driving upfield. Good break from Fogarty. Phil Ford up at the full-back position. Let's see this. Oh, dear me. Tommy Martin knocks it on at the play of the ball. He picked it up. He was just going to pass it. And unfortunately, he lost control of the ball. Adam Fogarty's got a bit of cramp. Now he's all right now. Sorted out. Saints their own worst enemy at times, aren't they? 4 minutes of the game left. Just in the lead by 16 points to 14. Michael Neal to feed. Salford with scrum possession. Phil Ford onto Burkitt, out to Tex Evans. Beavers clamps him well. Salford no doubt throw everything into this last 5 minutes. They played really well as a unit. Well, offside! That man was offside! The referee said it's gone back. I'm not saying it didn't go back, but the man picked it up. Blakely picked it up. He was in an offside position. Naylor now. Along the line, Salford in possession. Howard onto Ford. Short ball onto Burkitt. Gets it out to Evans. Sullivan has him wrapped up. Well, he didn't. He did, but he hasn't. Tex Evans. Lyon brings him down now with Phil Ford. Saints tackling. He'll have to be firm. Salford, they're lining up on the left. Barber straightens it up. Salford keeping it moving. Well, the ball's loose, but they was lining up on the left. And Salford should have scored there, but it was Farber. He straightened up. He tried to do it on his own. Looked to get the points for Salford. He straightened up. The ball should have gone out to the wing. It's gone into touch on the far side. Saints have an injured player right over in the far corner. Possibly Les Quirk. So a little bit of hanky-panky going on the far side. Saints have been awarded the penalty. Phil Ford asking the questions. Maybe he's the captain, with David Young, the recognised captain, going off. But a welcome penalty for the Saints. All the players fully fit now. Jeanette Smith just been on with the magic sponge. Two minutes to the final hooter. 16-14. Saints are in the lead. And let's hope they can hold out for the remainder of the match. Gus O'Donnell into space. George Mann's with him. George Mann has it. Can George Mann go all the way? Bernard Dwyer will. Yes. Oh yes. There'll be a lot of relief in the Saints camps now. That's going to be the ball game, as they say. Brilliant break by Gus O'Donnell. Side through the Salford defence. George Mann backing up. An excellent play by George. Must be the man of the match this afternoon, I feel, for the Saints. Had an excellent game. 2 weeks on the trot. And there is Bernard Dwyer popping up again. 2 tries in 2 matches. Bernard, what a prolific try scorer in the early season. But a lot of relief in the Saints camp now. In the dying minutes, well, 40 minutes on my watch, with Tommy Martin looking to tag the extras on. 20 points to 14. This will make it 22. Yes. 22 points to 14. And what a relief for the Saints. Tommy Martin's 4th goal. And up to then there'll be a lot of tight bottoms on seats in the Saints camp, but everything should be relieved now. 8-point cushion for the Saints. Chris, as Les Quirk brings it crossfield, now he straightens up. Looking to go all the way, Les Quirk. 1 minute of injury time played. Adam Fogarty takes the tackle. Well, there's the final hooter. And what relief for all the Saints spectators, me included. The Saints register the first win by 22 points to 14. Tightly contested first half, 8 points to 6 at half time. Saints starting well in the second half. A first-minute Martin penalty goal after a Salford indiscretion. Then Gary Jack came up with a try. 13 minutes later, Blakely goaled it. Salford were in the lead for the first time at 12 points to 10. Then great try by Chris Joint after Tommy Martin had turned the ball inside. Martin goaled it. Saints back in the lead at 16-12. Blakely with a penalty goal 10 minutes before the interval brought them back within 2 points. But a brilliant Gus O'Donnell break, hurried up the field, slipped it into George Mann. George Mann took the tacklers on, slipped it back to Bernard Dwyer, always in support. Dwyer went over. 22 points to 14 after Martin had converted it, and Saints had got the first 2 points of the league. The first 2 points of the season in the league. Most welcome as well. So 22-14 the final score. 1 win under the belt. Saints at Warrington next week. Let's hope they can keep up the impetus, and that'll be a lot of relief for all the team and Mike McLennan as well. Thanks for joining us. You've been with your Saints video team. Also, I hope British Gas, who are sponsoring today's game, as I've said before, along with the regular sponsors, McEwen's Lager. Hope they've enjoyed it in the sponsors' boxes, and we'll see you soon.